I'm known as a Willy, which means I work in London, live in Edinburgh, so I do a lot of travelling. And what this means is I need to keep a really tight inventory on what I put in my bags, what I allow myself to take out, etc., etc. So I'm going to take you through what I carry around with me. I guess I'll start with Swain Adonai, bought for three reasons. One, beautifully made British brand, bright coloured tanned leather, lasts forever. Second is they made Indiana Jones's hat. And third is it's a fucking TARDIS, as you'll see. Is it Rimowa? This is looking a bit blingy. They beat up well. Mac Pro. It is just totally awesome. This is the off-the-shelf kind of top-of-the-range one. I just wouldn't call it a laptop. I'd call it a portable computer. They've not talked to people who use laptops, and instead have talked to people who use laptops in isolation, in kind of early warning centres and stuff. And as a consequence, we've got a really, really massively loud keyboard that people stare at me when I'm on trains using. This thing is really useful, the little tap ID, but also next to tap ID is Siri. That convinces me that they talk to people who don't use laptops on trains and stuff, because I'm not going to talk to my laptop. Other than that, it's an awesome computer. The other thing I massively dislike about the new Mac Pros is adapter, USB-C cable, USB-C cable, a little bit longer, USB-C cable, standard USB to thingamy cable, Thunderbolt to USB-C dongly thing. The thing that makes me be able to do the thing that I was able to do quite easily a few years back with video demonstrations. Standard USB to USB-C cable, standard USB to USB-C cable. You have turned us into dongle grannies. And I have 60, 70-year-old men on planes tutting as I'm kind of rummaging through. Everything I've shown you, I have to have a duplicate set off, because the minute I have a temptation to take stuff out of my bag, I will leave it behind and then I'll get on a train for 4.5 hours and I won't be able to work. So I've had to buy 2 of everything I've just shown to you. You tell me the cost. Big fan of these T3s. And so I have one music and one vlog, and they're 2 terabytes each. And yes, I do need, I don't know if I need that with music so much, but with the vlog, I'm doing everything at 4K and tend to be working on between 2 or 3 films at any given point, lots of raw footage, so definitely need that clear. So this, loads and loads of Spitfire stuff on an everything drive. And as and when I need it, I will drag it onto my music drive. Basically, my music drive has whatever sample libraries I'm using on a project files like Logic files, Pro Tools files, and all the movie files as well. Basically, I have a kind of an arbitrary backup drive. Whenever I get nervous, I just go, I'll put it onto this thing. So I use both Dropbox and Google Drive to whack stuff up to. It's not really the audio that I'm worried about. The most problems I've ever had is with Logic files corrupting, so I just whack them everywhere. I also have to have a selection of USB cables from the world's ugliest. What is that about? Why is it in 2 and horrifying. A slightly smaller USB connector, an even smaller one. I have a love-hate relationship with this. I'm proud of it like some kind of malfunctioning child. It's basically the right number of keys at the right size, which is great. It's got a degree of controllability, ease of use. My issue is not its lack of functionality, it's touch sensitivity, which, I hate to slander M-Audio, but to me, it feels like the touch sensitivity is totally arbitrary. I am a total drug dealer, to be honest. So I have my Spitfire iPhone, I don't know what it is, it's 6, it's an iPhone big. I have a Samsung Galaxy 8, which is my personal composer. It really is a shit smartphone, contrary to reviews. I think the camera may be better than the iPhone, but the only reason I have it is it's got removable media. When I'm plumping away on 4K files, I can just pop it out and put another SD card in. The only thing you have to be really wary of is the SD card is in the same hold as the SIM card, and they've designed this brilliant function whereby if you pop out the SD card, the SIM card literally flies across the room. So you have to kind of cut. It's got removable media and the iPhones don't. Because I've got 2 phones, I lose them twice as much. So I have an iPhone small, so regardless of me leaving these things in taxis and stuff, I can always get in touch with my family. I do have one of these emergency chargers. The camera work I do with the Galaxy 8 is being assisted by this new amazing DJI gimbal. And to go with the gimbal, I've got a stand and a pair of feet for the stand. It's very rare that you can get to an end of day with the gimbal, so I have a spare battery and also a dual battery charger too. I'll get back to the cameras in a moment. I'm a total stationery fetishist, so it's only right that the king of stationery appears here. Smytheson wallet, Smytheson passport holder, fuck me, my secret dark Smytheson notebook of secrets that no one has ever seen. The one thing that's missing from my collection today is my Parker 51 that's actually being serviced at the moment. Now the Parker 51 is I'd say it's the Porsche Spider of fountain pens. Mine is from 1957. I've had it for about 15 years and I love it more than anything, but I very, very rarely get it out because I feel like a total wanker writing stuff down with fountain pens. But I do have spare cartridges, a pencil. I always have one of these. I stay at an amazing hotel chain who make pencils in different colours for all of their different branches. Because I stay here so much, I kind of nick them and they're my badge of honour, and I have cups full of them at home. Interesting pair of splitters there, just in case I make friends on planes. A pair of Sony's. I wouldn't use these to mix on at home. I'd try noise cancelling headphones and really smart grados and all that kind of stuff. But for travelling around, MDR 1As, they give me the right level of comfort, great bass end. They're the correct impedance so they can blow your head off. And they give you a degree of separation, but you don't feel like you're hallucinating the world around you like you do with noise cancelling headphones. Onto some personal stuff. I guess this is the most blingy thing I have, is a personalised Smytheson toilet bag, and in there I have toothbrush, toothpaste, Irish Tweed by Creed. I purposely keep all of my international power adapters in my toiletry bag. If I'm not taking my toiletry bag, I'm not overnighting. If I'm not overnighting, I'm not international. I'm a massive insomniac, so I can only get through about 1-2 pages of a book a night. I've been on this for about 2 years, but I have to say I'm about halfway through, and I think it is possibly the best manual on why and how you should avoid the music industry. And it is My Story, I Owe You Nothing by Luke Goss. I kid you not, this is awesome. Paul Smith glasses, which I don't wear enough, and as a consequence, I'm going like kind of massively blind. Now this is something I'm quite angry at my mum. She introduced me to a designer called Margaret Howell, and basically 100% of my shirts are made by this woman. Her shop is in Wigmore Street, next to the Wigmore Hall, and she's just awesome. But she's not cheap. Big dilemma for me is denim. I'm 45, am I allowed? Well, if you're talking about 501s, a design classic with its own Wikipedia page, I think it's allowed. Paul Smith socks, business cards, and you absolutely cannot leave home without a pack of Fisherman Friend. These are the habanero peppers of peppermints. Lens cleaner, which I also use for my screens. Universal camera charger with its plug. More Apple cables. I have 2 SD readers, a spare battery for my Panasonic, and a battery for the Rode microphone. I haven't yet opened this yet, but I daren't because it's really tiny, and that's basically for either my drone or me using the Galaxy 8 more. I saw this in Japan, I thought awesome, but it's actually an appallingly built piece of kit, but basically it's my spare SD cards. And last but not least, it's you. So we have a Panasonic GH5, awesome vlogging camera, a Leica Iniauti Zoomy lens, a rat, which my kids call Tom, and that makes me sad because I work with someone called Tom who's like the equivalent of Joni Ive at Spitfire, and he doesn't look like that. Sad middle-aged vlogger Joby thing. Casey Neistat said they're not fit for purpose. They are, but you just need to buy one every 3 months. Just work that into your sad business plan of becoming a YouTuber. And a little woggly lead to connect the microphone, which is a Rode, and it's awesome, bouncy blum blum, from a company that also makes really shit microphones, but this is a really good one.